run before Red Hot 55K. We went out for 20 miles, just shy of 5,000 feet of elevation gain. And main focus for today is good, consistent effort, no stopping really, fueling, and mindset. And I thought I would take you guys along with me so we can talk about strategies for Moab as far as like the race goes, as far as fueling goes, mindset, just a little bit more about what this race signifies. So we're maybe 2.5, 3 miles in. I think it's going to be like in the 40s, low 40s, upper 30s. So I have the John G. Rover hoodie on, one of my favorites. I have the 7/8 Trail Tight on, or my InReach Mini. Also got some Aquifer, card key, and the Trailblazer hat. So kitted up in John G. So you know it's going to be a good day. Like I said, good, consistent, strong effort for the day. Let's do this. In, I would say like 60% of the climbing is all said and done with, which is great. Yeah, really crazy. Red Hot coming right up, and that will be my longest run of 2025 thus far. Also my first ultra of 2025 thus far. Thoughts mentally, last weekend I was like, oh my god, my first ultra. I haven't ran over 20 miles in I don't know, quite a few months. And I think it'd be very easy to be like, let fear infiltrate my perspective on it and make me question whether or not I even have the legs to do it. However, I feel honestly excited. I feel good because I'm returning to this race. And interestingly enough, I came up on Strava this week, my course Red Hot 2024 recap, and it brought back so many memories. And it was kind of like just this refresher on the course of things I noted, shortcomings, but it was very useful in the sense of gave me a little insight as to expectations and how I'd like to approach the course. And so talking kind of strategy. So the course is kind of interesting. It has 2 loops. You start out on a 4-mile stretch of road and you start loop number 1. You kind of come back to that center point, which is around mile 18. You start the second loop, return to that center point at about mile 31, and then you just run 4 miles back on the road, dirt road. But last year, I just remember starting out the first loop really strong. I mean, I can do this. I can hold this pace. I feel like I can just kind of make this happen. And little did I know, the second loop, full of slick rock and big high steps and off camber trail, and I was not physically prepared for that or mentally prepared for that. And having that in my mind, also having somewhat recently run in Moab back in November, I feel I have a good perspective as to yes, the first loop is pretty runnable and you could really find a good pace on that, but kind of keeping it reeled in so I have something saved for when things get a little bit more tough in that second loop. So starting out a little bit reserved, just knowing what's ahead in loop number 2. I think some lessons learned in 2024 for 2025. In 2024, I was just way too easy about was fueling. So for 2025, there's a no bullshit, I'm going to fuel gel every 45 minutes, disciplined fueling strategy. So for Moab, that's the plan, is every 45 minutes, consuming one of the Science and Sport beta gels. Right now I have it in strawberry lime flavor, which it's so good. The texture's really good. Get 40 carbs, 160 calories, and I feel like it's just so easy for me to get down. That's the plan. So I'm going to be bringing about 8 gels, assuming I'm going to be finishing around 6 hours, along with maybe some gummies. And then, I don't know, maybe just supplementing with food at the aid stations. For hydration, I'm going to be bringing water 1 bottle of water, 1 bottle of electrolytes, pretty much what I do on a consistent basis anyways. But I will be bringing individual single packets of electrolytes, the BPN ones. Keep it consistent. I'm not trying to mess with anything on race day. I guess one thing I learned in 2024 is on race day, I could have practiced, eating real food and nutrition for a very long time. But on race day, I usually end up pretty nervous or nauseous, or I don't know what it is. So I'm just planning on gels at this point in time, because that's easy to dose, easy to keep track of. And yeah, so really hoping to stay on top of my nutrition. This is my longest long run of 2025, and it's been quite a few months since I ran anything even comparable to that distance. And last weekend, I think I got a little in my head and was like, oh God, it's scary. But a huge focus for this race is really just to go out and have a good time. And yes, I do have goals, but I feel if I go out and run and enjoy myself, I'm going to perform better. I know I'm going to perform better, so I might as well just enjoy myself. If I'm just out there putting all this pressure on myself, I'm going to get in my head, and it's just not going to be as fun, and I'm probably not going to perform in the way I would have hoped. Additionally, yes, Red Hot is next in line, but I am going to be running 100 miles this summer. If you didn't know, I have my whole race breakdown for 2025 in a video that I will link on the screen. One of my biggest focuses is, yes, obviously, the physical training that goes along with preparing to run 100 miles is no just walk in the park. Obviously, I'm going to be putting in a lot of time, a lot of miles, a lot of vert, a lot of strength training. And that I think will inevitably help, mentally carry me a little bit further, because, the longer you can prolong the hurt, probably the better a better mental state you'll stay in. But point of that is, it's 100 miles. It's going to hurt at some point. And a big focus of mine is with every single run I do, whether it's a speed workout, a hill workout, trail run, long run, even just an easy effort, is to just really focus in on my presence, my body, and how it feels, and just really harnessing my mind in the present moment, not getting ahead of myself. And on a day like today, seeing oh my God, I still have 12 miles to go. Letting that go, being right here, right now. On an easy run, I might feel really crappy and really slow and compare myself to how I felt 2 days earlier, where I felt really great, and reeling it back in to the present moment. Because when you really connect and ground yourself to where you are in this concept of time, and sure, some people might look at it and be like, it's just some woo-woo crap, but there's really something to be said about understanding that when you are fully present in the moment, your mind has the capability to just find solutions, be in control, because when you are in the present moment, your thoughts aren't limited or confined by fear or self-doubt or what's to come. You're just there. You can be, and you can feel the pain and navigate it. And it's gonna suck. At some point, 100 miles is gonna be tough, even in Red Hot. But I really, really, really want to focus super hard on training the suppression of my ego. And yeah, being able to look at my watch and being like, okay, we're at mile 23. How do I feel right now? Is this a good sustainable pace for what's ahead? And I think that's gonna ultimately set me up for a lot of success for all of my races, not only this year, but in the future. Also just set me up for a better life. I really want to use that, because, especially in 100 miles, even in a 50K, it's very easy to be overwhelmed with the amount of miles left, daunted with the amount of climbing left. When it's just you're there in the moment, you can tackle it, you can do it. You just have to, step by step, be here now. So that's just some things I've been thinking about, getting excited. Well, at some point I stopped my watch and Yeah, so I think we're about 12.5 miles in, but my watch says 11.5 miles. I don't know. Doesn't really matter, but this is why I don't sell my watch. Also, I've had just like crazy technology malfunctions today. I'm just like, it's right on point. Almost to the top of this climb. Hard, but good for you. One of the things I like to tell myself is the harder it is now, the easier it'll be later. So just keep doing it. Last long run before race day, my first race of 2025 is officially done. 20 miles, 5,000 feet of gain, and with my watch goof, you know, it was probably 21 and a half miles, but I suppose we'll never know. It's just extra credit on my legs that just wasn't documented. Either way, I'm about to head home, and you'll either see me post run or in a different clip, but we're gonna just have another quick little chit chat before I let you go. Just kind of talking about some other pre-race stuff. So I'll see you here. Okay, so it's now Sunday. Here we are, kind of crazy. We are officially less than 2 weeks out from Red Hot. And I can honestly say with every passing run, every passing workout, every passing day, I am just getting more and more excited for this race. I think it's just gonna be an awesome experience. But I wanted to just sit down today, just summarize some of the things and points that I was making yesterday, also include a little bit of just some other fun nuggets of information that you might be interested in regarding training, a future training, eyes on the future, that sort of thing, as well as just if you are interested in hearing about how the race goes. So without further ado, I'm gonna try to keep this concise and not yap too much, but your girl loves to talk. So here we go. After Never Summer last year, which was the longest race of my life, it was 100K. I really mentally just wanted to make sure that I never burnt out from the sport of trail running. So I kind of took a step back from doing really big efforts, and I feel that now I'm starting to get my body primed and ready to be doing 18 to 20 plus miles with over 4,000 feet of gain for my long runs. And that's just what I plan to do for my training and something that I think is necessary for me. And that's not me making a recommendation, that's just me telling you. Point to that is, you know, it's been a little bit, if I'm being honest, trying to get back into some of these longer runs. Some of these runs have been a little bit slower on the weekends, my long runs, and I am personally okay with that because my focus is not speed with my long runs right now. It's mainly just a good, consistent effort, focusing on getting my nutrition and fueling down because that is something I'm taking very seriously for 2025. And then finally, I'm also really trying to practice mindset and that just presence on those long runs, because I think ultimately that is something that is going to be a focal point of my training, you know, as we get into 100-mile training. I had been a little nervous about doing Red Hot because it will be my longest run of 2025. It will be my longest run in 6 months by quite a few miles. And like I said, with every passing run, I'm just getting more and more excited and trying not to put my mind ahead of where I'm at. I know I can do it. And ultimately, my main focus, like I said yesterday, is just to go out and have a good time. You know, I don't need there to be any pressure surrounding this race. And yes, I do have a goal. I do have a time goal. I would love to get a course PR for me. If I go out and just pressure's off, just go out, have a good time, enjoy myself, I know that I will show up and do the absolute best that I can do for that day. Therefore, I feel I will perform better. So that's kind of where I'm at mentally with the race, is just go have a good time and see what we can do. Moab though, Red Hot is kind of a significant
point in my training, because for January and February of 2025, I've really been laying the foundation of like a marathon 50K good, strong training base. So kind of come March, I can really start building my volume. So increasing my mileage and increasing my vertical gain every week. And, you know, at some point sooner rather than later, I'll start incorporating back-to-back long runs, because High Lonesome will be about 4.5 months out from the beginning of March, which sounds like it might be a while, but it's gonna fly by. The last 2 months have flown by, so I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be here very quickly. So I am kind of prepping myself that, you know, after Red Hot, training is kind of taking a shift, and we're gonna really start kind of getting into it. The other really exciting thing about Red Hot is, I know I've mentioned it quite a few times, but it was the first ultra I ever ran in 2024. So I'm really looking forward to returning and just seeing what thoughts and emotions resurface, especially having accomplished everything I did in 2024. I was so proud of myself in 2024, even during the Red Hot race, just for putting myself out there, being vulnerable, and attempting a distance that was completely unknown to me at the time, and how excited I was. And now here I am with a 100-mile race on the horizon, and just, you know, feeling a lot of gratitude and very humbled by everything I've learned in the last 12 months. So really excited to just kind of, I don't know, go there, see what resurfaces, and just find some, I don't know, gratitude and appreciation for everything that has come to fruition in the last 12 months. So I think, like I said, I'm just excited to show up and do the best I can, and we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. By the time this video goes up, it will be Monday of race week, and I do intend to do a race recap video, kind of vlog style, talk you through some things as far as like how everything went, what happened. We'll do a full recap, I promise. But as far as like the actual race footage, we'll see what we can get. I will certainly try, but I do want to be present. I do want to enjoy myself and not feel like I just have to whip the camera out, any like filming pressure during the race, if that makes sense. So like I said, we'll see what we can do. Last but not least, I am really excited because I am testing out a new pair of Jonji shorts. I mean, I'm not like their test trial individual, but I don't think it's been released to the public yet. I'm really excited to try out these shorts, so I hope to be able to share that with you in my Moab recap video. And don't forget to click that link in the description. Go send Jonji some love. They make the best running apparel. Really stoked to be racing in their running apparel. Last year I did not, so this year I'm just ready to be kitted up, looking good, feeling comfortable for my race in Moab. So like I said, click the link in the description, use my code Mountain High Life. But all that to be said, if you made it to this point in the video, seriously, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. I know this was a different style video, a lot of talking, a lot of me just kind of sharing some thoughts, feelings, whatever. And if any of it resonated with you, please let me know what you thought down in the comments down below. I really appreciate you being here and sharing this wild experience of ultramarathon training and all that with me. It really means so much. So seriously, thank you so much for being here. And all that to be said, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you get out on some trail today, and I will see you in my next adventure. Bye!